Everybody, thanks for watching. And just a quick reminder that the Consciousness series is still available, also available on flash drive. A lot of you guys are having storage issues with the download. So if you want a custom flash drive with a certain amount of videos on it, just email me at therealmerkabah@gmail.com and let me know what you want. Somebody will take care of it for you guys. And I just want to get into this video. A lot of people was talking about the last video, got a lot of questions from a lot of people in regards to the consciousness, carbon, and matrix of reincarnation video. And I put that out a while ago. A lot of people slept on it, and a lot of people are beginning to see it now and understand what it was talking about. So a lot of people didn't realize that matrix is a biblical word. You know, matrix is biblical. It's in the Bible. A couple verses, Exodus, you can find it. Also in Numbers, which we'll talk about in the Numbers biblical series DVD coming up. And matrix is a biblical word that comes from the Hebrew word rakem, or Rachem, however you want to pronounce it, which means womb. So now you understand why it was called carbon, melanin, and the matrix of reincarnation, womb of reincarnation. So when you start to put it together, as I pointed out in that video, you know, they really didn't reveal what it was really about, the matrix, until the third one, to the last one, when Ramachandra comes up and he says his name, you know, I'm Ramachandra, and that basically gave it all away, as I talked about. And, you know, Ramachandra is basically the reincarnation of Vishnu, Rama, Vishnu, and he is in fact the seventh avatar of Vishnu. So Ramachandra deals with reincarnation, and remember, he was saying his job was the power plant systems manager of the recycling plant, the facility. So basically, he was in charge of recycling the souls and bodies of the people from the matrix. So again, when you understand that whole part, when they show the power plant and the people all plugged in, you got to ask yourself a couple questions. One, you know, if people were just dying normally, basically dying, we understood in the matrix the machines was using the people as a power source. So you can't have people just dying. That, you know, there's your power source, it's gone. So if you die and the energy leaves and goes, you know, wherever, you know, what is going to be repowering the system. So we know there was growing people. So, you know, to have a person needs a soul, a spirit. So that energy was being put back into the babies and, you know, so on and so forth. You know, his job was basically to handle that process, to recycle the energy, the souls, to reincarnate the people, to bring them back. And, you know, into a new body and what have you, to keep the matrix, you know, powered and keep it going. And, there's a lot more to that, as we talked about in the video. And you also have to really think about the end of the Matrix Revolution when they basically have a truce. And you got to think about it and ask yourself, well, you know, how can they have a truce? If the machines are dependent on the energy of the people, how can they unplug them all? You know, what would happen to the machines? And there's a lot more you have to really get into when you understand that part. It has a lot to do with universal law. If you read the comic books, the Matrix series, you can kind of point that out, reading the comic books and how that really touch on universal law. Because as I talk about, you know, what they're doing is not illegal. What they're doing is in accordance with universal law. We are all agreeing on this whole system that we are under, and it's legal according to universal law. So the whole thing is, you know, if we just said stop, we don't want it no more, or we figured it out, you know, they would have to go another route. And it's the same thing basically with the matrix. When you understand the people that's being plugged in, that was plugged in, you had the agents there, you know, so the agents was basically there to, you know, detect any issues with the matrix, any problems. And if basically somebody was to wake up, was to see something, you see what happens. They become unplugged. You know, they wake up and see, you know, what's really going on, and they basically recycle right then and there. And that's basically what happens, you know. But that was basically only happening to the people who Morpheus and Trinity was waking up. And that's the whole parable behind that. People who are waking up, who are becoming unplugged, are waking up to find out what the world really is and what's really going on. And it's, you know, it's mind blowing. So just like in That's Gay in the Bible and Christianity finally explained, you know, it goes back to the womb. Same thing with the matrix, is going back to the womb and understanding what that really is about. You know, Latin, mother in Latin is mater. So matter became mother. So it makes sense that all matter, which we know as the physical matter, comes from the mother, mom, the womb, the matrix. So when you look at the whole parable of the matrix and what's going on, and you have to understand that you got in the matrix because of your mother. You came from the womb. That's how you got here. So again, as I was talking about with Jesus in the Bible saying the kingdom of heaven is basically the woman's womb. You have to be born again. Everything that we see going all the way back to ancient Kemet is talking about the woman. Plain and simple, the woman's womb and how you got here. And when I talked about Maria Gam Buddhist books and her pointing out the fact that we had a whole, centuries of this planet being inhabited by only women and men later coming along, it makes you really understand what happened and what's really going on as I talk about in these videos. But, a lot of people are not putting together those connections and understanding the importance of meditation and how it plays a major role in all of this. So I put everything basically that, you need to really understand about consciousness and energy in that consciousness series. So definitely take advantage of that. Those are basically the main videos I have out now touching on consciousness and energy. So I get a lot of questions about reincarnation and energy and consciousness and meditation. Take advantage of that series. I don't want to be like when a person asks me a question, I don't want to have to always say, hey, go buy this DVD or go buy that DVD and make it, make people think it's all about money. I answer a lot of questions, but I'm seeing a lot of the same questions and I can't answer them all. And I try my best to put what I can out on YouTube, and I put the information out for people to get. There's not too many people touching on, the kind of information that I talk about, as you guys already know. And it's tough to really find exactly what you're looking for or get the answers you want put in a way that you can really understand and then go forward with your own research. So this is what I try to do. But the reincarnation factor is just something that it's been talked about forever. I mean, everywhere you go, you find it. When you really start to dig into ancient civilizations, they was fixated on the sun, the woman, and reincarnation. Plain and simple. You're going to find it everywhere. The serpent as well. That's the one they try to hide the most. The serpent is everywhere. The dragon is everywhere. This is stuff that you can't escape. What happened, as we're getting into an ancient history series, and the same thing with the biblical series, is you're going to be able to see the change over of history that these Europeans did, that the Greeks and the Romans did. The changeover is what basically confused everybody. It's what has everything out of whack. And that's this turnover of history and knowledge, which is why when you pay attention, even when you look at Lucifer, the light bearer, has to do with illumination, the Illuminati, or what have you. What is this stuff all about? Secret society, Satanism. When you get into it deep, it's about what? Esoteric knowledge. Knowledge, plain and simple. To get to its simplest point. Everything that we talk about, everything that we're digging into, they are touching on as well, and it has to do with knowledge. Knowledge is the key. Knowledge is power, plain and simple. So they understand that the truth, which is Ma'at, which is everything, is the true power. It's how you're going to be able to get to where you need to be and do what you want. So those who seek knowledge and those who get the knowledge are also seeking the truth. And you'll see that once you have truth, once you are going forward with this knowledge and seeking it, everything just unravels. Everything is revealed. And when you have truth and the course that you are living, your life, when you have truth in your life and yourself, and you're going on your path with truth, everything just works out for you. And I always try to be an example of that to people and let people know that everything that I've done to get to this point of success, I've just done so truthfully and just walked in truth and did what I need to do truthfully and been true to myself and true to my goals. And as long as you don't cheat yourself and you follow your plan and you meditate on what you don't understand and you seek what you don't understand, everything will work out. So now what you're going to find out when you start going through all that, the knowledge and, reincarnation, everything is going to come to a point of balance. That's everything. It's going to come to that point of balance. And you're going to see that in everything that you're trying to do requires some form of balance. And the whole thing is, what exactly are you trying to balance? Some people are trying to balance a beat down or a bullet, slavery or servitude, jail or servitude, I should say. Some people trying to balance, work or homelessness. It's just, what are you trying to balance? And some things should not be on the scale at all. plain and simple. So, and this is what they've given us. It's rigged from the start. The things that you should be trying to balance is not even in position to be put on the scale. So what are you putting on your scale? What are you trying to balance? Are you trying to go to work and survive, or are you trying to be free? You're trying to be wealthy or what have you. You're trying to balance. People trying to balance the wrong thing. And everything that we look at, everything that we're trying to figure out, all information and knowledge that we seek in, we fail to realize that everything that we need is in us. And that's the key to it all. And that's what the Bible is trying to tell you. That's what everything is trying to tell you. Everything that you need is within yourself. Balance it. You got to balance yourself first, plain and simple. So even if, you're dealing with any type of problems, let's just say people trying to wake up, some people trying to figure out the truth about something. In order for you to even do that, you still got to go within yourself. You're trying to get out of religion. You're trying to do something as far as spiritually, you still got to go within yourself. Even for everybody who is not awakened yet, people who we trying to get to join the so-called revolution and to wake up or what have you, they still have to go within themselves and change their own minds. Everything is within you. Anything you're trying to do, you have to go in first. You have to go in and fix what's wrong with you in order to move forward. And it's no kind of outside physical thing or material thing that's going to help you do that. And a lot of people think it's going to be money, it's going to be some kind of person or what have you that's going to do it. It's ultimately going to come down to you. So once you have that balance within yourself, then you have to balance the fact that you have to deal with the material world, which is why I always say it's not just spiritual, it's material as well. There's a balance of both, but it starts with you first. You have that balance first. Then you have to balance the fact that you are in this material world and you have to deal with it. How are you going to do that? You have to deal with the fact that you got bills to pay. You got to deal with the fact that you're going to die. You have to deal with the fact that, people who you love is going to die. That you can't pay your bills. That you're not where you want to be. So how you choose to deal with it, how you choose to balance it, it's going to determine where you're going to go in the future, what your future is going to be, how your reality is going to be. You got to take control of it. It's just that simple. So I get a lot of questions from a lot of you guys about reality and about, life issues and stuff that we all go through. And a lot of people think it's just something that they need to do in the world physically, to put themselves in the right position to be successful. And as I talked about in Personal Economic Series, that first video was really about you, getting your mind right and understanding how you need to be thinking right now. Seriously, you have to change your whole thought process and really figure out what you want exactly, because a lot of people still don't know what they want to do. Reincarnation should be the last thing on a lot of people's mind. I know a lot of people think about that. I get so many questions. I was shocked about how many people was talking about the same thing with reincarnation. And to anybody that's still hung up on that, you really need to don't stress about it so much. Really still focus on yourself and get into where you want to be at in this this world right now, because balancing that out, having the physical things, the material things that's going to make your energy or make you feel better. It's real easy for people to just say, forget this stuff, forget about this stuff, focus on spirituality. You can't do that. It's just something that you cannot do at this time. You can't just, like I said, get butt naked and walk out in the woods and live off the land. Your mind won't let you do it. So you have to figure out that balance. And once you do that, things will start to really open up for you. So we talked about in our meditation 2 about how meditation is to basically program your subconscious, to basically, program your consciousness to really allow you to be able to make the right decisions and go in the direction that you want to go in life, instead of you being subjected to the programming that is basically out here now, because they know you are not programming your subconscious. They're going to program it for you, which is why we have all been following the same exact thing. No matter what hood you go into, as I said, we're doing the same stuff. Plain and simple, we are all being programmed because we are not programming ourselves to basically, not pay attention to the programming, to understand the programming and see what it really is. So meditation is going to basically do that for you. It's going to help you really control the thoughts that's controlling you right now. And a lot of people don't realize that it's your thoughts, what you're letting in, what you don't have control over mentally, that is controlling your actions. A lot of people act off of what they think. If you think somebody's a certain way, you're going to treat them a certain way. You could be completely wrong. It's, he said, she said. He says something about this person that's completely a lie and wrong. So now you're treating this person a certain type of way, but you don't really know the truth because you never suck after the truth. If you don't seek the truth, you won't find it. Plain and simple. A lot of people are not seeking the truth. They are not actively controlling and training their subconscious to basically allow them to do what they want to do in life. So now you are basically operating off the programming. And you don't even know because you think it's you. You think it's you and what you think and how you feel when you have been programmed to feel that way. As I said before, a lot of the stuff that we do is programming. Talked about how a lot of people say, oh, you sound white because you sound educated, or you act white. And I always discuss this point because we got to understand that everything that we do, the way we talk, the way we walk, what we have was given to us. Plain and simple. This is European stuff. This is not who we are. We have been trained and programmed to act this way. It just so happens that white people and everybody else who came to America has, as well. So you can't really separate it. This black, culture that we think is ours is not us. It was given to us. If it was really ours for us, that's going to be something that uplift us and help us out, we wouldn't have it. They wouldn't let us have it. And that's something we got to understand. So I always try to branch that with hip hop culture because a lot of people got to understand that, it's not ours. It's not us. And all of this goes back into, programming your consciousness, what you're going to be doing, how you're going to basically end up. And it all eventually leads back to reincarnation. Plain and simple. If you're not putting yourself in a position to gain the knowledge that you need to basically wake up, literally, to really make it, then, it's a wrap. And, death is certain. You don't know when you're going to die. You could die today, you could die tomorrow. You don't know when it's going to happen. Everybody wants to be, eventually I'll get to this point. I don't have time to do this stuff right now. And as I said, it's what you're balancing on that scale. Work, play. What are you balancing? Are you balancing your education, your knowledge, what you're trying to do, what you really want, from this existence? Or you trying to fit in with the world and try to follow the programming of the world, of the planet, what you have to do. You have to make time to really wake up, to really get the knowledge that you want. And it doesn't really matter where you get it from. It's just as long as you get it, as long as you are putting together the pieces to really understand where you need to be at this point in time. Because this is what they're doing, and everybody has had that feeling of being, in shock when you have found out information about something that you thought was completely something else. You was wrong the whole time. When you found the truth, it's like, whoa, how could I be so blind? Because you didn't go out and try to figure out. You just believe. It's the same thing that's happening with the religious community. We all have to basically take that time to understand what's really going on and to really get this knowledge and use it to our benefit and stop allowing ourselves to be programmed by everything that we are seeing. And it's a constant ongoing thing now more than ever. They are bombarding us with so much stuff. And if you are a person that's into social media and you're actively engaged in this stuff, you can't help but, see it. It's everywhere. Whenever something happens, you're going to find out via social media. You're going to find out somehow, some way. And, eventually you start to realize, like, damn, how much meaningless information have I taken in that has influenced me one way or another about a certain situation? Instead of you taking in something that, you decided to take in. So, they are programming us and we are programming each other. They program us with something. We share it on social media and program other people and we pass it on and so on and so forth. And this is a continuation, even more so than ever before, of the programming from them because of social media and everything that we are taking in and spreading. And so emotions are changing. People's mind are changing. A lot of people in the process are waking up. Don't get me wrong, more than ever. Because the information is just out there. A lot of people got a lot more questions. And the Catholic Church has been a lot really honest about a lot of things lately, which is crazy. So you really having a lot of people wake up to to see what's really going on and to ask a lot more questions. And a lot of people want knowledge. A lot of people want to know the truth, what's going on. A lot of people feel like we're headed towards something that's about to happen, and they want to be ahead of it. They want to know. So I can't blame people for seeking that information, but at the end of the day, it's like, what are you going to do with it? If you're not going to really put it into effect, what's the point? Having this knowledge just to be able to, one up somebody or to curse somebody out or to seem like you're smarter than somebody, what's the point? A lot of people want to debate. They want to be right. A lot of people get a kick out of arguing when they think they know something and they be completely wrong most of the time. What's the point of all that? What's the point? It's like with the Christians, what's the point of saying you worship God and you love God and you don't follow nothing in the book? What's the point of having this information and saying that you're conscious if you're not really conscious? A lot of people ask me the questions about how to really talk to their loved one who is into religion. And I always tell them, if you don't have the knowledge to answer their questions, they're not going to believe you. They're going to think you brainwashed. They're going to think you watch too many YouTube videos or following somebody you shouldn't be following, or you heard something, or you just seen something on the internet that has you in the state that you're in. So if you're not able to really, say anything that's going to challenge their psyche, challenge their thinking, and answer their questions, that's the main thing. And it's going to be some outrageous questions. So, if you don't have the knowledge to do that, it's not really even worth getting into that debate or conversation with them, because they're just going to think, you're just as crazy as they are. So, I always tell people to make sure you know what you're talking about and to get the information and understand the way these people are thinking when it comes to them believing in these religions. And I try not to knock people. I've been through this, so much now, have so many debates and talked to so many people about, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Hebrews, anything, you can think of, I've talked about with many people. And the questions are always the same. It's always the same questions. And when you can answer those questions, you have a better chance of really getting through to people. So definitely take the time to read this, really get into a lot of these biblical religions, get into Judaism, understand Islam, understand what this stuff is really talking about, and why, as I said, you have all 3 books in the Masonic lodges, because they have something in there that, is for them and not for you. So my point in these last 2 videos was just to really, for the people who was really thinking that, reincarnation is final, that it was just something that we just had to accept. If I gave that impression, I definitely didn't want to do that. Fear reincarnation. Definitely understand it's not something that you want. Some people like the idea of coming back here, which I don't understand why. Some people, for the fact that they like life and they like the good things that are here. But that's not to say that, this world and the system that we know is going to be the same as it is now, forever. It's definitely not. If you look at the direction that, the powers that be are gone, they're pushing for something that's completely inorganic, something that's so much more, machine than anything else. And it's one of the things that a lot of people didn't point out or really understand in the Star Wars series. If you look at the Star Wars series, remember, it's about the Force, balancing the Force. The whole thing is about the prophecy of, Anakin Skywalker, who's basically going to come along and basically balance the Force. The Force is going to go out of whack. Dark side is going to take over and balances everything. If you look at a lot of the scenery from Star Wars, you have a balance. It's a mixture of nature and technology. Even go to the different planets, it's a balance. You see them in the desert, it's a balance of technology and nature. Tatooine, Naboo, same thing. Beautiful scenery, balance. When you got to basically where the Senate was at, it was the city, it's a metropolis. City, it's where the politicians and bureaucrats is at. It's a city. Metropolis was no real nature there, just a crazy city full of, one ruler, one so-called galactic empire, and even their armies was machines, and you had the droid army and what have you, and it was really trying to make that comparison to the rest of the people, having this balance and how things should be, and us having to deal with this control system, deal with this this organization, this structure, the powers that be, in this technology, this machine driven future that they want. So we got to really understand what you could possibly be coming into, and what the future could possibly be holding for us. And it's not something that I think that, you know, we're going to like. So I basically wanted to pick up where I left off with the last video to really touch on some more about reincarnation. A lot of questions about it. I know you guys have a lot of questions, a lot more questions, and I try to respond to as many messages as I can. But definitely, if you get the chance, definitely check out the consciousness series. It's going to answer a lot of your questions. I mean, it's just going to really save you some time and really put you on, you know, in the right directions. I have books up there that you should read and things you should check out. So definitely, if you can, you know, watch those videos. If you have them already, check them out. A lot of people have videos, have bought all the videos, and they still have questions, and, you know, all the answers are right there. So yeah, again, you know, if you have storage issues, take advantage of, you can basically order custom flash drives and have them sent out to you on flash drive. So take advantage of that, and send an email to therealmerkabah@gmail.com. And thanks to everybody who has been supporting the site, the whole clothing line, KimandConsciousClothing.com. A lot of people have been ordering shirts and everything from there. I basically cut a lot of the prices down because I wasn't aware they were so high. Thanks to everybody that's been following me on Instagram, social media, what have you. And I appreciate the support, but I'll see you guys next video. Definitely look out for numbers in Deuteronomy coming out next. And I'll see you guys next video.